Yes, what's good everyone? What's popping? What's cracking? What's good party people? What's going on? What's going on? What's popping? What's good? What's good everybody? Welcome to the Monday Night Live edition of the Tech and Chill Show. Wow, let's get tuned, let's get settled. Whew. I'm looking a bit too bright on camera, right? Yeah, that looks about right. Exposure wise, maybe a little bit more. Sound check, sound check, sound check, sound check. Let's do a quick sound check. See what's good. See how we're sounding. If we're not clipping, we're not too loud. Let me just bring the volume down a little bit. What's good? What's good? What's popping, everyone? Whew. Cool. So I think we've got a couple of people tuned in already. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Tech and Chill Show, Monday Night Live. I'm your host Ben from the Lover of Tech channel. We are streaming live on YouTube and Periscope through the power of the internet and Restream.io. Crispy live stream brought to you by the Elgato Camlink, not sponsored. And just a couple of topics to talk about tonight. Why not? Let's talk some stuff. Definitely got a couple of stuff that I wanted to talk about within the title, but also just anything that you guys had in mind that you wanted to talk about as well. So yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? So as the title says, Monday Night Live, MNL, Apple event, finally, Wednesday the 12th of November 2018. What to expect from the Apple event. DJI Mavic 2 Pro and Mavic 2 Zoom, but more on the Mavic 2 Pro. And Canon bringing a full frame mirrorless camera. 5th of September, Canon have an event, and little tidbits I wanted to kind of talk about as well. So IFA is going on in Berlin. Huawei have announced different color backs and different material back Huawei P20 Pros, and also finally announced the Kirin, the high silicon Kirin 970, the world's first 7nm mobile chipset. And also on the 25th of September, rumors are that Panasonic are finally going to step into the full frame mirrorless game. Wow. Talk about healthy competition in the industry, man. I'm loving this. Shout out to the Periscope retweet. Shout out to the Periscope family as well. I've got the live stream on Periscope pinned to my Twitter profile, so if you are there as well, I'll be keeping an eye out in the comment section. So shout out to you guys over there as well. But if you want to be part of the main conversation, definitely head over to the YouTubes. The link is there, and come over and join the conversation. But I will try my best to keep an eye out in the comment section below. All right, so I've got Periscope on the right, so see what's going on there. What's good with people? Bang, 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 bang. Cool. All right, basic house rules. First is a sound check. So I need your feedback as my audience to let me know if the sound and the audio is clear cut, if the music is okay and it's not too loud in the background and it's just sitting perfectly, as you know I like. And also that we can get into the topic. So let me see who's in the comment section. Ambience Lens Photography, what's good? In Singapore, out for some dope ass shots for my new Note 9. Nice, awesome. First question: do you prefer the Note 9 over the Note 8, or would you think Note 8 as being a beast and the Note 9 being a refresh? Both are beast. It's a refresh. Like I said, this year it's just a refresh, but it's not just a refresh. It does a lot away from the S9 Plus as well as the Note 8 for it to still be its own beast, you know. So I definitely still prefer the Note 9. It's the newer phone. It's got, you know, the better refinements, but the Note 8 is still a good phone. Like we're just spoiled. Like nowadays phones are just that damn good now. Hell yeah, when is this beginning? I can't wait for these amazing topics to be discussed. Cool. It's beginning now. Please call out Bigsby. I forget your oh my days. I forget how funny it is having live streams with Ambience Lens Photography. Oh, that legitimately made me laugh. My friend did a live stream. He said hi Bigsby on the live chat, and a miracle Bigsby was summoned. Oh man, that's hilarious. Congrats on 5.5k, bro. It's been a long journey. Thank you so much. The journey still feels like it hasn't even started, man. I appreciate it. I'm humbled. Thank you. I'm not even nowadays I'm not even paying attention to the subs. I'm just trying to be the best me that I can for you guys as possible, man, with the time that I have. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, 2 minutes left. Sup? Yep. Yep. How are you, man? Was busy with my work. Same. Couldn't catch up lately. Nah, it's all good, man. I appreciate it. When you do, you catch up anyway, man. I appreciate it. Studio Gets 32. Hey, what's good? What's popping in the house? Shouting out to everyone. All good with the sound. Whoo, yeah. Justin Zia, what's good? Hey, bro, how are you? I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you for joining the live stream. Justin Feltech in the house. What's good, Ryan Toms? What's up, doggy? Sound is clear as music is sick. Thank you. What mobile camera is the best in your opinion? All round, the best camera on a mobile phone to me is the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. All round. If you break down specifics, the Pixel 2 has the best selfie photography on a smartphone, period, hands down. It has the best single lens point and shoot ease of use camera on the market for photography. Pixel 2, arguably. The P20 Pro, wow, probably has the best low light performance on a smartphone for photography, especially with night mode. And it's a very versatile camera because of the triple lens. Obviously the monochromatic sensor helps with dynamic range as well as detailing, and also monochromatic photography. The main camera lens has one of the biggest camera sensors with optical image stabilization on a smartphone. The AI technology on the P20 Pro, funny enough, impressed me a lot more than I thought it would do, but it's ridiculously bad for video. It's like, I wouldn't recommend that phone for video. The Note 9 isn't perfect at everything, but it does everything well. There's not a thing it doesn't do well enough for it to be the jack of all trades. It does have a mastery in something. I think it probably now has one of the best video stabilizations on a smartphone, probably next to Google's implementation. So if you break it down to specifics, yeah, certain phones are specifically better at one thing than another. But as an all-round package, I actually genuinely think the Note 9 is probably the best. It's not perfect at everything, but it ticks everything and does everything well enough. Moto Cam, what do you think of GoPros? GoPros are cool. I think Everyday Dad is probably the best person to ask when it comes to action cameras, because I don't have that much experience with action cameras, but they serve their purpose, and I think GoPros are cool. What's up, CC? What's good, Concepts in our house? So we got the squad here. We got the people in here. What's good? I'm liking this. Thank you for the sound check. Right, let's get into the juicy. Definitely get into the juicy. Yo, Bigsby's in the house. For your assistant, please call out using hi Bigsby. Oh my days. Let's see how it does. Saw a few shots that had it much because of the sharpening of the P20 Pro. Oh, Bigsby. Biggie. Right, okay. I think we have everyone so far that are in the comments. So let's get into tonight's topics. Woohoo! Apple event. 12th of September. It's gonna get interesting. 12th of September. All right, cool. You know what? Let me bring this here so I can still see the comment section and engage with you guys while I go through the other. Ooh. Okay, right. So this isn't the one. This is the one that I want. This is the one that I want. Ooh. Get your calendars ready. Ooh. All right. Apple event. And it's always a case where Apple events always have the most excitement around them. Why, I don't know. But they just, I think obviously we can appraise that to Craig Federighi, the late Steve Jobs. Those guys know how to do presentations. You know, it's got a full stall. Those guys just know how to do keynotes, right? And Apple just has that vibe to them, you know, where their keynotes have now been built over the years and years and years to get us most excited. So add to your calendar. Pacific District Time. I think that's what PDT stands for. And it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting because one thing I'm definitely gonna say, and I don't have any leaked images up, so I will try and get some leaked images up so people can see what's going on. I don't have a problem with the naming system. I'm gonna be straight up. I don't have a problem with the naming system. Obviously the look, I mean, obviously the look of the presentation of the phones, iPhone XS, Roman numeral XS, XS, right? So on paper and on packaging, I don't know how that's gonna look, but the iPhone XS, iPhone XS Plus, iPhone 9, I don't have a problem with it. And the one that I'm more actually akin to be okay with the naming is the iPhone 9, because although it's gonna have a notch, you guys know how much I feel about notches. It's gonna look different. It's gonna look a lot more different than the iPhone 8 did look to the iPhone 7. So it's gonna warrant the name change. Now, again, we don't know what that's gonna be called next time because it's iPhone 9, there's already an iPhone 10. I actually think the iPhone 10 will get discontinued. Personally, I think the iPhone 10 will get discontinued. I think it will get discontinued like the iPhone 5 did. I think it would just, I think it might conflict with the iPhone XS as a replacement. Personally, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know how the staggered iPhone lineup is going to look like, and if they're going to kill the home button altogether. But I'm going to be very straight up and basically say, for me, I'm definitely going to be getting the iPhone XS Plus. I miss having a big size iPhone in terms of form factor. So it's something that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to getting. Much better battery life, a bigger display, still with a notch. I don't know if they're going to change the resolution. I'm guessing they are going to change the resolution, but knowing Apple, it's going to be some weird resolution that they're going to do anyway. And iOS 12 really for me needs to fix one major thing that bugs me every single day that I use my iPhone 10. Every single day. And you do not realize how important that is and how much it slows down your phone. App and RAM management is, I'm almost confident enough to say that app and RAM management for me personally and how I use my iPhone is rubbish. For the price of this phone, and this has never been a problem with iOS, this has never been a problem with iPhones, app and RAM management for my iPhone 10 is the worst. It is absolutely, it's like they need to put 4 gigs of RAM in there, 5 gigs, 6 gigs, whatever they need to do, they need to go above that 3 gig. And they need to optimize the RAM management back to the glory days of the iPhone, back to the glory days of iOS 10 and before. It's a very frustrating experience, and it's almost like the A11 Bionic chip in there is like having a W12 Bugatti engine, right? It's like having a W12 Bugatti engine, but with the fuel tank of a Pipette. And I've said this before, the RAM management and the RAM amount does not help app management at all. And as fluid as the iPhone can be, I get apps that reload and hang for time trying to gather them. It's like it's trying to gather its thoughts in memory before it actually explodes and works. And it's a really deterrent factor in me being able to enjoy such an expensive device, but a device that is meant to be arguably the fastest, the most powerful, and the most fluid on the market. So those are the two things for me, like raw. They really need to get that act together for. They really need to get that act together for me personally. Let me try and see if I can find some leaked images of the iPhone XS. 9 to 5 Mac, okay. I so need a Stream Deck. So this is what I'm seeing in terms of the design of what they've leaked, and it's not going to be any different in terms of looks and aesthetics, obviously. But Apple tend to do this when it comes to the plus size phones and the S model phones, the speed model phones. It's all about internal refinement of hardware, polish up, but in terms of design and aesthetics and looks, pretty much nearest the same. But what they tend to do is they tend to add a color that they didn't do previously, so it's easy for you to differentiate that it's an S model and it's not an actual identical replica. You see, so there's the gold exclusive that's been leaked, and it's definitely going to be that. It's gone through FCC. It's a 5.8 inch, which is obviously going to be a replacement for this one, the 10. And then obviously the 6.5, which is definitely the one I want to get for sure. OLED panels again. It's going to be interesting to see if Samsung are still going to be the main manufacturers of the OLED panel, or LG are going to step in because of the investment that these guys are going to be putting into LG with their OLED or their POLED substrate plastic displays. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Definitely expecting the A12 to be a beast, you know. And if Apple manufacture that down, I don't know if they, because two of the main chip fabricators for Apple are Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company TSMC and Samsung, and I don't know if they're going to be able to fabricate that down to a 7nm chip. But if that A12 becomes a 7nm chip, wow, I'm expecting great power efficiencies on there, especially when it comes to standby time. Like the iPhone 10, one thing I can definitely trust about this iPhone 10, there are nights where I forget to charge it and it can near enough be on the same battery percentage when I haven't plugged it in the night before. It's crazy. So not that it needed better standby time, but you see, what I love about sometimes the refinement route of things is every little helps. Every improvement helps. Every improvement goes a long way to giving you a much better experience. You see, so I'm not gonna be like I'm jumping jacks over the moon. I'm definitely expecting them to do a 512 gig model of this phone. High resolution displays for the bigger one for sure, just to match with the pixels per inch of the phone. Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, sorry, things have gone a bit. Well, okay, cool. Okay, so let me just try and think and see what's going on. Man, live streaming without like multiple monitors is crazy. Let me just check what's in the comment section with you lot. Bro, I heard they're ending the Samsung Note series. Is that true? No, I don't think so. Just rumors for now, to be honest. Yeah, that's true. Odds on air power or whatever's called. Air power is a flipping myth. I swear to you lot, the modular desktop Mac Pro will get released before air power at this rate. That is absolutely disastrous what Apple did. Why announce a product when you know it's not even like it's some major. Seriously, air power is just a joke to me right now. I do have to go again. Gotta sleep. Oh, good night, everyone. Oh, Concepts. See you, man. Oh, good night. When Bixby says good night to Concepts creator, would you like me to monitor your sleep? Bixby. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. And what do you think about the Note 9 versus the upcoming S10? They're different product phones. The S10 is going to have better specs because it's going to be the newer phone, but it's a different product line. It's a different product line. So I compare the S10 to the S9. Comparing it to the Note, just to me, is not something that I'll be doing. I don't really, for me personally, I don't really care much for the S line. I'm more of a Note user. That's just me personally. I don't really care for the S line that much. I find it very hard to fall in love with the S line. Do you play Fortnite? Hell no. Man, Fortnite, the game gives me a headache and I don't even play it. Nah, I don't play Fortnite. I don't think I will be playing Fortnite. I'm more of an old school Counter-Strike person. Shout out to the Counter-Strike Source and Global Offensive crew. I was about to ask if you had a PS4. I've got a PS4. I've got a gaming PC as well. Android, iOS, Bixby, Siri. Mario M, hello, what's good? Bad Bixby. I'm seriously don't see the difference between the Apple Watch series. They all work the same for me. Standby is amazing on iPhones. Yeah, for sure. My S7 Edge is amazing standby time. S7, just iPhones just have the better standby time. They just do. They just do. It's witchcraft. I don't know. Let me go back to OBS. Check that I'm still where I need to be. So yeah, this is what we're looking at right now, right? New iPads supposedly. I don't think so. I don't think they'll be doing new iPads at the same conference. I think they'll do new iPads the month after. They'll do a small keynote for it as well, as they like to do. The Series 4 is going to be interesting, whatever they're going to be doing in terms of like the reveal for the Series 4 personally. Like an edge-to-edge design for the watch. I don't really feel for Apple Watches because I don't like the design of them. I kind of prefer more of the circular watch timepiece of like the Galaxy Watch and the Galaxy Sport and the Gear S3. That's me personally. Cool. Okay, so 9 to 5 Mac Series 4. Okay, so definitely for me, my thing with those, it doesn't seem like much, but those are going to be definitely the two things to me that are going to be such a big thing for me to really get back onto. Them fixing up the RAM and app management, better battery life, a bigger iPhone, a high resolution display. I am still longing and I'm still hoping for a quad HD, some form of quad high definition resolution OLED panel that gives a high refresh rate at 90 hertz or 120 hertz. I went into store, I was playing with the Razer phone again, I was playing with the iPad Pro 10.5. I'm telling you, the high refresh rate is not a gimmick, it's serious. Like, I need that in my life, yo. I seriously need that in my life. I need a high refresh rate in my life. I need that. So I'm still longing and I'm still hoping for when, my goodness, the company that does that you see, that ROG, the Asus Republic of Gamers gaming phone gave me that hope. It gave me that hope. I had that hope, man. I had that hope. Yes, it was only 1080p. Fine. It was only 1080p. It was only full HD. It was low brightness. It didn't have much of a brightness headroom, but it was 90 hertz. They showed us that high refresh rate OLED can happen. It can happen. Please, Samsung. Like, I even, let me put it this way. Something tells me Apple are going to be crafty enough to be the one to do it. If Apple, for some reason, can convince and strong arm LG or Samsung to give them a high refresh rate, quad high definition, high brightness OLED panel that refreshes at 90 hertz, I will marry the notch. Remember me saying this, I will marry the notch and I will make sure that is my favorite display, because high refresh rate to me is so much more important than pushing for a UHD 4K panel, honestly. So not too much to say. I don't think these new iPhones are going to be anything exciting, but at the end of the day, it's Apple. People are bought into the brand. Apple brings a kind of like, you know, a hype and excitement to their product launches. Whether we like it or not, the iPhones are going to sell well. They're going to sell well just based on the merit of the fact that they've built a brand. Not that they don't make good products, but they've built a very strategic marketing and a brand where it's easily recognizable. People are sucked into that ecosystem or ecosystem or whatever people like to jazz it up and say. The iPhones are going to do well. Hey, you know. So yeah, that is pretty much in terms of, you know, what to expect from the keynote of what's coming. Let me check the comment section and see what's up. I see. Yes. Is the Core M3 good? No. If it doesn't have an i5 in front of it and it's not 15 to 45 watts, to me personally, that CPU is not that good. Did you call me Mario? I think I did. Dario, sorry. Do you know why? You know, selective sight. Like, I saw Mario. Sorry, man. Dario. Evening, Gavin's Gadgets. What's good? Good evening. What's up? Dave West, the young Welshman in the house. What's good, man? You cool? What's good? Pinterest generated question: would you rather prefer iOS over Android or Siri over Bixby? If I had a choice, and okay, if I didn't have, I've always said this, if I did not have a choice and I could only choose one, and I didn't have the luxury of having two operating systems, I would definitely choose Android. I would 100% choose Android. And Bixby is new, so I still want to give Bixby a chance. I just don't think it's there when it comes to voice recognition that well, personally. I still want Samsung to be brave enough to pour money down into research and development, software development, build a solid software developer kit, software program for app developers, and just jump on Tizen. I just think they need to cut their ties with Google. I just don't think them being with Google is really helping streamline their product experience, personally. So that's just me, you know. So let me know if there's anything else that you want to know or talk about the Apple event. But yeah, I want to keep it moving on to the next topic. Kaiser reveal in the house. What's good, bro? Kaiser in the house. What's popping? What's good? Thank you for joining the live stream. As always, as you know, live stream is on the YouTube as well as the Periscope. Let me say it's up. Twitter fam. Saying hello to the Twitter family. What's good? Oh no, man, live streaming is just so weird at times. Sean in the house. What's good, Sean? Please give me a chance. No, of course, like I said, it's so weird having Bigsby to talk to in a like, who are you, Bigsby? Like, you can't be a bot. Like, you respond too legitly. Like, your AI is next level. Your streaming quality is improved. I'm always trying to improve for you lot, man. I'm always trying to improve for you lot, man. I don't think people like Samsung enough to switch to it completely different OS, which will most likely die. I don't think so. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot more difficult. It's gonna be a lot more difficult for them to stand out. But yeah, I don't think Samsung doing their own OS is a bad thing at all. Did you get to go to the IFA event? No, I didn't. But Roger from Life of Tech did. Asus took him out there. So shout out to Roger, man. Well done. Seriously. Making us proud out here, man. I'm free. I'm Gen free, bro. When Bixby calls me bro. Yo, don't you? Oh man, some things are just so hella funny. But yeah, thank you, Sean. I'm glad you appreciate the quality of the live stream. It's like that so it's just easier for you guys to enjoy and have some form of, like, you know, replay ability, so you can either just watch it, listen to it like a podcast. Hopefully the audio comes through clear, hopefully the picture quality is good. And I always say this, live streams are better in 60 frames a second. I don't care what no one tells me. If you're not doing live streams at 60 frames a second, you're doing it wrong. That's just my personal opinion. What's the next topic? Mavic 2 Pro. Mavic 2 Pro. Okay, let's talk about Mavic 2 Pro. Ooh, excuse me. Mavic 2 Pro. Alright, let's switch up. Let's come back. Mavic 2 Pro. Wow. Okay, so DJI. Wow, DJI are obviously on top of their game. And I might talk about one more topic, Xeon Crane Tech. They've got a new gimbal, 3 gimbals that they've announced or kind of, you know, shown up a little bit. But DJI, Mavic 2 Pro, and the Mavic 2 Zoom, as you can see, prices respectively. And personally, I think the Mavic 2 Zoom is a bit of a gimmick. It 2 times optical zoom on a drone personally doesn't really excite me that much. That's just me. I'm not a drone expert. I've never flown a drone in my life. I've never owned a drone in my life. I've never touched a drone in my life. I'm putting bare disclaimers out there. I'm not even close to being a hobbyist of a drone, let alone a prosumer or a consumer. Like, I'm not about it. Right? But that Mavic 2 Pro, wow. Now, this Hasselblad thing, I don't think it's a Hasselblad camera. I think they worked in conjunction with Hasselblad because obviously there's an in-house company to DJI. I still think it's actually a Sony IMX sensor that's in there. I might be wrong, but I think it's a 1-inch Sony IMX sensor, pretty much the same one or equivalent to that you find in the RX series, in the RX 100 series. That 1-inch sensor is a beast. So UK pricing is what we have here. And the gimbal, as well as the drone itself, looks, wow, look at that, looks beefy, looks fat and juicy. Yeah, DJI know what they're doing for sure. Optical avoidance, all angles, the fly more combo. Yeah, DJI right now, it just feels like they are in competition with themselves. And 10-bit HDR video, time-lapse, 10-bit D-Log M, And I think one of the biggest things that they've actually done to this that really helps is the adjustable aperture. So the adjustable aperture seems to be a new thing, as well as the bigger sensor as well, you see. So moving away from having a smartphone sensor size to a genuine, like, you can start taking certain cameras a bit more seriously when you get to a certain sensor size, and it needs to be from a 1-inch sensor. So like, as you can see there, Mavic 2 Pro, and forget the zoom. It's like, it's looking serious, like it's looking very, very serious in retrospect to what was there before. And this is where I'm saying that although the optical zoom is nice, it's still on a smartphone sensor basically, which is, you know, smartphone sensors kind of range from 1/3 inch, 1/2.9, all the way up to 1/1.1.7, which is what's in a the P20 Pro. You know, the 1/1.7 inch sensors, the biggest so far, away from the old Lumia 1020 sensors, right? So I just wouldn't recommend it. I just wouldn't recommend it. I think the Mavic 2 Pro definitely is where the money's at. Definitely where's the, because not just all that resolution and the color information and the sensor size, but you can do the zooms yourself. You can do the zooms yourself. Obviously, there is times where you want to do the optical telephoto zoom yourself, but I think most drone flyers, and I might be wrong, most drone flyers might better serve having the higher quality of the image sensor on all the color information and the adjustable aperture as well. Shout out to Rescore Pro Everyday Dad. No, sorry, Rescore Pro Alex. I don't know what drone he's got. One particular drone. He's been putting out a lot of trailers of him. Alex looks like a GTA character. Oh man. So omnidirectional obstacle sensing, it's looking, look at that, it's just looking crazy. And definitely DJI know what they're doing when it comes to gimbal work. So the 3-axis gimbal on there, that's been improved. It goes up ever so slightly more as well, so you get more vertical shot options. Yeah, so as you can see here, yeah, so if you look at that, it's a 28mm equivalent sensor, f2.8, which is not bad, to be fair. It's not bad. It's not bad. And it's an adjustable aperture all the way to f11. But this is where the money's at. This is where the money's at. The sensor size difference moving from a smartphone sensor size of 1/2.3 inches to a 1-inch sensor, I'm telling you, that is worth more its money than the zoom. I don't see the benefit of the Mavic 2 zoom. So unless my drone flyers out there in the comments can really educate me, so let me look at Kaiser reveal editing the Mavic 2 Pro camera review as we speak. Cool, my man Kaiser doing that, so definitely go check out Kaiser reveal's channel for sure. I'll be looking forward to that, bro. Excommunicado, what's good? Those Pixel 3 XL leaks seem to be too suspicious. I said this, we're not talking about Pixel 3 XL today. We did a whole topic last live stream, and it's just Google just intentionally smoke screening people or just mentally conditioning people for how ugly that phone will look like. Yeah, because Google would never make a bad product. Yo, what's good, Jordan? What's good? Welcome. So yeah, that 1-inch CMOS sensor is where it's at. That's where the money's at. That's where the money's at. And 10-bit color information as well. It's I think it's got hybrid log gamma as well. Yeah, so HLG hybrid log gamma for high dynamic range recording as well, which is really going to help with that harsh light exposure, and having an adjustable aperture as well should really help with that. So just being able to have a much sharper image, because it's not every time that you want to open your image up wide. Mavic 2 Pro is where the money's at. Honestly, the Mavic 2 Pro is where the money's at. I might be wrong. Again, like I said, I'm not a drone. I'm probably the wrong person to be talking about this, but I just don't see the benefit of the optical zoom on a Mavic 2 Pro, on the Mavic 2 zoom, mainly based on the fact that it's still stuck on that 1/2.3 inch smartphone sensor. It just doesn't, to me, it doesn't really cut it. It just doesn't really cut it. And it's more of an upgrade. And it's great. You've got the H.265 codecs as well, the HEVC codecs as well, that's in there. You know, higher bit rates, much more efficient in terms of, you know, storage, built-in storage as well. It's good, but I think it's definitely worth more of the money if you step up to the Mavic 2 Pro. So Mavic 2 Pro has me excited, but I said this, and unless I'm being ignorant and I'm being blind to it, right, where is the obvious competition for DJI in this consumer drone space? I know there's a couple of other drones that I've seen from like Parrot and Affy. I've seen Everyday Dad do some videos on there as well. Where is the obvious competition for DJI? Because my thing is, right, and we're going to talk about this when we get into, you know, the camera leaks of what we've been seeing with the Canon full frame. Competition helps, if not for two things, one thing: price, guys. Price. And I'm gonna prove it to you when we get to the camera talk with what Canon are bringing out. And we talked about this with the Nikon Z7 and the Z6 that have been announced and coming out. Competition helps. If we think the price of the Mavic 2 Pro is good, imagine if DJI had up face value, and this is what GoPro were meant to do with the Karma series drones that they were meant to bring out. If their quality control did not really their quality control didn't really tank. If we think the Mavic 2 Pro pricing is actually really good for what we're getting, imagine if there was competition. I guarantee you that Mavic 2 Pro would be at least £300 cheaper, guaranteed, if there was actual genuine competition on the scene. That's what's cheesing me off right now. DJI are just competing with themselves. They ain't got no healthy competition, like genuine competition that will make them stay on their toes, right? That's what's really just like, oh, we need people to compete, not to make DJI fail. And it's not necessarily to make them bring out more features or whatever, but pricing, if it doesn't actually push DJI to bring more features and make the drones better, they can price them even better. So whoever is out there that is supposedly meant to be the drone competition against DJI, please start doing a better job. That's the only thing I can keep saying. I said this before when me and GravX Reviews talked about the announcement of the RTX from Nvidia. Everyone can say whatever they want about Nvidia when it comes to the pricing of their products, how much they're not much improved. It does not matter if the competition have nothing to bring. That means they are the only ones competing with themselves, and they are the only ones that are bringing their A game to the table. And it cheeses me off when there's not good competition. So I'm more screaming for good competition, because it felt like not long ago that the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Air was just announced. It didn't feel that long ago. It honestly did not feel that long ago. And now they're out bringing the next iteration of these products. They didn't have to, but they've done it anyway, and they're staying ahead of the game. And even still, they've still held stuff back purposely, like a higher frame rate of UHD 4K. There still isn't a 4K 30 with 60 frames a second option on the Mavic 2 Pro. I know for a fact they would have been able to do that if there was competition. Yes, it can do it in 2.7K, but it's these are the things. These are the things, you know. So it just triggers me, man. It triggers me. We need competition in this space. We need competition in this space. We need competition in this space. So let me switch back to scene. Boom. Tap 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 tap. Pat 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 pat. Ha 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 ha. Okay, cool. Let's see what's good. Definitely worth more than the zoom. Cool, yeah. I mean, you can back me up. Yeah, I can't see using a zoom on a drone. Nah, I might be missing something. I might be missing something. But I think the Mavic 2 zoom is pointless. My drink is almost finished. How are we looking for time? Nowadays, I'm trying to make sure that I'm a good boy when it comes to live streaming time. Nothing more than an hour and a half. Worst case scenario, but 1 hour, so that the replay crew have a nice, crispy, well put together live stream to watch back as soon as possible, and nothing too long. What, no 4K 60 frames on the drone that price? Yeah, because they don't have any competition. Not healthy enough competition for them to actually add such a feature. And this is what happens when companies are at the top of their game. They basically have a monopoly, which is not any fault of their own, because they're just making good products. They're putting money into research and development to be able to refine these products, upgrade these products, and still price them well enough. But they can still hold back certain features because they don't need to release them, because they either have higher level products that they need to protect, or there just isn't any competition to squeeze them to have to do it. And that's what cheeses me off. We need competition. We need competition. We seriously need competition. Yeah, I was disappointed for the lack of 4K. Yeah, same. And they could have done it. Like, DJI could have done it, but if there's no competition and there's no need for them to do it, I will do the same. I'll keep holding back certain features just so that until there's competition or until I can exhaust the length of time, then I'll add it. You see, and that's what they're doing. And this is not me hating on, this is not bad practice on DJI side. I'm not paid by DJI. I'm not trying to defend them. I'm not even a drone expert, like I said, but I'm saying that is just how business practices are going to be working if there's no competition. Don't get me wrong, they're not sleeping on their laurels, because if they were sleeping on their laurels, yeah, they wouldn't have released the Mavic 2 Pro. I promise you, their current drone lineup would have been good for another year. Come at me. I'm being serious. The way they're dominating the market right now, DJI did not need to release these drones. I might be wrong, but I'm telling you, they didn't. And it would have still been selling out, in out. So they are just competing with themselves. So they have in their right, in-house, to hold back certain features so it doesn't go further. You know, so screw it. I've got some spare parts in the shed and a spare I'll cobble it together A-Team style and see how it goes. I'll call it the Dave Drone Pro. Dave, I can't actually take I can't take you seriously, man. Let me check my Twitter. Let me check my Twitter feed quickly. Oh, Dave, you're nuts. Let's see. So shout out to the Periscope family that are out there as well. Ivan says talk about the Key 2 LE. I didn't really do much on the Key 2. Maybe the end of the show I'll talk about the Key 2 LE. Thank you, says nice show. Thank you for the share, appreciate it. Thank you for the share. So those are my 2 cents. Any drone experts that's in there, I know my boy Kaiser Reveal's in there, so he's probably going to be the one to watch out for. Go check out Everyday Dad as well. Those guys are more into their drones. I just don't have the funds and the access to get those kind of things as of yet, but who knows in the future, why not? So conclusion to the second topic: get the Mavic 2 Pro, do not get the zoom. The zoom is not where the money's at. Saving that £200 on the zoom, yeah, you shot yourself in the foot. You shot yourself in the foot. So yeah, don't get the zoom, get the Pro. The extra £200 is gonna be definitely worth your money. Cool. I dislike this track. Next. Oh, this one. Oh, I'm gonna be such a dream killer tonight. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna hate me. Key to leprosy edition because bits are falling off. Oh, so what did the Key 2 have? The Key 2, what was a Snapdragon 636 chipset, 32 gigabytes. I think I'm more, we'll probably talk about it on the next live stream, but the LG G7 I, I don't know what you guys think about the LG G7 I. So before we start talking about the mirrorless, full frame mirrorless camera from Canon that is supposedly meant to be announced on the 5th of September, which is what, in 2 days. Oh, wait, okay, yeah, I need to watch that. Okay, cool. The LG G7, the LG G7 I. So that's a very interesting turn of events because of the Android One program. So I kind of find it interesting. Key 2 had keys on the screen. AB Tech Kitty. Dave, stop it. Oh, Dave, man. I don't know where you come. I don't know where you come up with this. Man said kitty laptop. Alright, cool. Let's get into topic number 3 and all the little extras that are going to be out as well. So Dave, Canon full frame mirrorless. Wow, talk about assault of the full frame mirrorless scene. And also Panasonic supposedly are going to be announcing and going into full frame mirrorless camera territory. Wow, this is what I mean about competition. Sony came heavy into the full frame mirrorless with their new Alpha 7 series, with the A7R3, A7 III, and the A9. Literally made full frame mirrorless a thing. It just made it like, yep, it's certified now, it's out of beta, it's a proper thing, and they priced it well. Now look, now these other companies are getting at it together. Look at what, and we agreed last week that the Nikon Z6, especially with the Atomos Ninja V, I don't know if you guys saw Caleb Pike's video on the Atomos Ninja V, but the Nikon Z6, especially paired up with the Atomos Ninja V, wow, full frame beast. And again, like I said, I had brief hands-on with the Nikon Z7 at my local camera store, Jessop's, pretty much the equivalent to B&H in America. Wow, the phase detection autofocus in video works really well based on initial impressions. Obviously for photography, we decided that the D850, especially for the Z7 and the high megapixels, was going to be a better camera for that. But for video, the Z6, yeah. Now Canon. So let's run through what Canon are bringing to the table. Now, obviously these are leaks, these are rumors, take it with a grain of salt until the next 2 days when they announce whatever they need to announce. We don't even know if they're still going to announce this or not. Take a breath, come back. This is looking like the same sensor that you're going to be finding in the 5D Mark IV. So 30.3 megapixels. Image type is obviously JPEG, RAW 14-bit, C-RAW as well, dual pixel AF support when it comes to RAW. Obviously electronic viewfinder because it's a mirrorless camera, and EVF is life. I don't, EVF is life. AF point, maximum AF detection points is 5,655, and again, that doesn't state whether it's contrast based or phase detect points, so take it with a grain of salt. The phase detection autofocus points might be a lot less and majority might be contrast based. So 5,655 seems astronomical, but it might not really reflect on what the actual breakup of contrast to phase detect and the dual pixel side of things will be. ISO sensitivity minimum 100 there. 1/8000 for shutter in terms of the shutter speed, up to 30 seconds long exposure. Continuous shooting performance up to 8 frames a second, so it's not really going to be there for, you know, sports, because the frame rate is not really that high. Video, video, 3 resolutions: UHD 4K, full high definition, and HD, which is 720p. UHD 4K, and again, we don't know if this is going to be digital cinema incentives, DCI 4K at 4096 by 2160, or UHD 4K at 3840 by 2160, 30 frames a second. But there it is. My biggest worry is 720p at 120 frames a second. That is already a red flag. My A6300 does 100 megabits per second, IPB codec, H.264, 1080p, full HD at 120 frames a second, and it shoots the individual 120 frames a second, right? Or you can do SNQ, you know, SNQ in body, will conform it down to 30 or 24 frames a second for you in body, and you can see the slow-mo straight away. 720p 120 frames a second, nah, not even. That's exactly the same thing that they did with the Canon M50. They're bringing it to their full frame, so that already is a red flag. SD card support, no mention of UHS-II, so it's looking like not just your standard speeds for UHS-I, but also 1 card slot, which is again a big red flag when it comes to pro users. That's another GIMP. UHS class compatible, 1 compatible like stated. So going through 3:2 aspect ratio when it comes to photography, when it comes to raw, light, and JPEG full size, 4:3. So going down. Let's look at the different aspect ratios that obviously have it here for all the imaging quality stuff. Cool, that makes sense. Cancel this away. Wi-Fi support, face detection system, dual pixel CMOS AF, fine. When selected with cross, okay, cool. Again, we need to see whether this is going to be, well, what the breakup of contrast and phase detector is going to be for the autofocus points. Trying to find video specifications. There we go. This is what we have right here. So again, it's stated UHD 4K, so it's ultra high definition, not the DCI cinema incentives resolution, which is wider, obviously 70:9 aspect ratio. These are the 3 frame rates, and you've got the all-eye codec like what was on the Canon 80D. And if you don't know about the all-eye codec, the Panasonic GH5 does that. It's a much more uncompressed format, a much higher bit rate, but it's so much less taxing on your timeline. Very similar to what ProRes does. Much higher bit rates, much more information, much more data, much more color that goes into it as well, much more information and data. But because of the nature of the codec compared to IPB, which is your standard compression of H.264, again, sorry for getting technical, it is so much easier to edit with an all-eye codec, even though it does take up more storage. So that's looking like a very promising thing. And it looks like the all-eye codec trickles all the way down to full HD, 60 frames a second, which is to me very still disappointing, but it just means that you will get higher bit rates if you decide to shoot in 1080p, which could be really good. It could be a very good compromise. So if you're getting at least about 100 to 120 megabits per second, whereas the Canon 80D does what, 90 megabits per second, this could be very good for ease of use, having 4K high bit rate but at 1080p resolution, very similar to what the C100 does. And then if you want 120 frames, 720p, nah. And these are the bit rates. So it looks like it does support exFAT. So what that basically means is the file format doesn't break up. My daily driver is a Galaxy Note 9 as well as an iPhone 10. Hope that answers your question. So it's got the exFAT format, which is great. It just means that it does continuous recording up to 30 minutes and it doesn't break the file up in FAT32, 4GB files per cut, which is something that is very annoying on the Panasonic Lumix G7 that I really dislike. So it's got the exFAT format, but again, these are the bit rates. You're seeing the bit rates are ridiculously high, 480 megabits per second when it comes to all-light codec, which it's going to take up a lot more space, but I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. But IPB codec is what we're used to, 120 megabits per second. The bitrate looks really good for your standard H.264 codec. Longer recording times as well. And the bit rates are over 100 megabits per second, which is nice. Which is really, really good. So the all-eye codec have me excited. It's really good because it goes against what the Panasonic GH5 was doing with the all-eye codec at 400 megabits per second. So how I'm going to put this is, this camera should do well because Canon just have such a big fan base. They have such a big fan base, and even with the leaked PDFs, it pretty much goes through the same things that we've pretty much gone through on that side as well. And these are the leaked ones. So shout out to Dave Altizer. He did a great video on that. So go check out his channel from Kinotika and also his personal channel as well. I talked to him a lot on Twitter. He's a cool guy. This camera is going to do well, but I don't think it's going to be a pro camera personally. I think, in my opinion personally, it's going to be a miniaturized 6D Mark II. But they will have usable UHD footage on there. But what is not being disclosed is, are they going to gimp the dual pixel autofocus like they did with the Canon M50 to protect their cinema line cameras, i.e. the C200 one? How heavy is the crop factor going to be? Because I promise you, you are not going to get a full frame readout in UHD 4K when you're recording continuous video. There's going to be a heavy crop, and I'm not talking about a Super 35 crop mode that you can manually switch to yourself and still have a full frame sensor readout, so you can have two focal lengths with the lens that you have. No, there will be a crop factor on there. There will be a crop factor on there. They're not establishing it, they're not talking about it, but there will be a crop factor. Not a crop mode, but there will be a crop factor when you're recording UHD 4K. I promise you that to now. And I have a sneaky suspicion this crop factor will go beyond the Super 35 1.6x crop. I think it will be the same 1.7, 1.8x crop that you got on a 5D4. And I will not be surprised, even with a flip out screen, which is going to be Canon's interface when it comes to the flip out or touchscreen is phenomenal. I would not be surprised, I promise you. I would not be surprised if they gimp the ability to have continuous autofocus with dual pixel in UHD 4K video recorder mode like they did with the M50. Come at me. Canon are very good at protecting their higher end cinema line. That Canon C200 makes them way too much money to have a mirrorless camera like this come against it. That's just me personally. So don't get me wrong, I'm excited for this. Competition is healthy. And one of the reasons why competition is so healthy is, check this. Great import or not. When did the Sony A7R III come out? The A7R III, Sony A7R. So if you look at this, Sony A7R III, it's meant to be a £3,000 body, £2,000 body only. That's what competition does. Competition does this. I'm more excited for how pricing is going to come down on these awesome cameras because of competition. So Let me know what you guys think about the Canon mirrorless full frame release, right? It's a good thing. I just don't think it's going to be a pro level camera. I think it's going to be a full frame vlog camera in a compact body with Canon's ease of use, with their dual pixel autofocus, and obviously whatever everyone loves to talk about Canon, their lens selection. Obviously it has to be adapter based because of the arm mount, the EOS arm mount that they've got going on with it. There's going to be adapters for it, and I think there's going to be one adapter in particular that will allow to have inbuilt ND filters, which is going to be very interesting. And Canon's color science. A lot of people talk about the color science. Canon's color science, cool. But I think people getting their hopes up is good. We want Canon to do well. We want Canon to compete. I just don't think they will compete to the level that we want, but it will be enough to keep loyalists happy. And I think as a vlogging camera, if they do not gimp the dual pixel autofocus, at least, even if there is a major crop, I think vloggers are really gonna akin to that. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking when it comes to this. I want Canon to do well. That's what I'm saying. I want them to do well. I want them to genuinely compete. They've got things going on for them. Full frame, which is going to be good for them. Their color science, their dual pixel autofocus, a flip out articulating screen, their full touchscreen. Canon's interface is the best in terms of ease of use, fluidity, and access. There will be a major crop. I have a feeling they will go as far as actually doing a ×2 crop, depending on, because of the fact they don't have any in-body image stabilization on a hardware level. They're going to be using their ES, their electronic IS, because of their Digix processor that's going to be built in that does that, which is going to add even more of a crop if your lenses do not have IS built in, you see. So those are my thoughts. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I would like to be pessimistic, and I would like to hold my breath and hope that Canon don't disappoint. I want to be wrong, but Canon just has a reputation where they are very good at protecting their assets. They're big boys, their cinema line, what makes the money. Canon are very good at that, and I might be wrong in saying that, but they are very, very, very good at that. So I wanted to just drop my 2 cents on those and kind of close up the Tech and Chill show. So definitely talked about the 25th of September, the possibility of Panasonic bringing out their full frame mirrorless camera. Huawei also have been teasing the P20 Pro, sorry, the Mate 20 Pro and the Mate 20. So it's going to be very interesting to see what their Kirin 970 does with their 7nm chipset. I really, really hope Huawei can fix their video abilities on their new smartphone. If I have a sneaky suspicion that they still will not do 4K 60 frames a second, I might be wrong, but I really, really hope they fix their stabilization, because it's shake city for days. The stabilization on the P20 Pro is it's not that great. Chigs, what's good? Chigs Tech Reviews in the house. What's good, man? Chigs is another guy that went to IFA. So how's IFA, man? Thanks for joining the live stream. We're pretty much almost closing up. We're pretty much almost closing up. What's good, Chigs? So yeah, Mate 20. So the Mate 20 Lite is official. They also announced the Huawei's Kirin 980 when it comes to their big little architecture, where you've got 2 main cores, 2 middle ones, and 4 low efficient ones. So it's an 8-core octa-core architecture, 7nm chipset. It's looking like a beast. It's definitely looking like a beast, and these are some of the things that they've put in terms of what is going to be much more efficient or better than the Kirin 970, as well as the Snapdragon 835. So if you look at the Geekbench performance, they're really just putting it out there and saying this is what it can, and quite, you know, wow. So if they're maximizing the 7nm chipset well, awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And even comparing it against, but I hope their dual ISP, their dual image signal processing is something that's going to really help with their, what I think is really good when it comes to photography. I think their photography is just really good, especially when it comes to night photography, and their AI. I have to admit, their AI was something that I really found good. I just hope they can really fix their electronic stabilization for it to communicate with the OIS a lot better, because their video performance is just wasn't something that really blew me away. And I know most people don't care about video, but hey. IFA was awesome. I just got back from the Meridian tour with LG and Dolby. Sick. That is dope. Yeah, I was seeing some of your content, man. That's awesome. Honestly, well deserved, man. And you're gonna be hitting 100,000 subscribers very soon. So keep up the good work, man. I'm glad you enjoyed IFA. Roger from Live for Tech was at IFA as well with Asus, so that's a good look. One day I'll be at IFA, hopefully. So yeah, that's a very interesting turn. Obviously we showed the leaks of the iPhone and also what to expect from the event. So the 7nm chipset, the high silicon Kirin 980, interesting. Mate 20 Pro, Mate 20, interesting. We'll see what they bring to the table when it comes to more photography, especially videography. Panasonic when it comes to their full frame, supposedly. And then Canon, wow, okay. Conclusion, Mavic 2 Pro, get the Mavic 2 Pro, not the Mavic 2 Zoom. Get a Mavic 2 Pro. And Apple special event. Oh, it just would not be anything unless Apple pretty much got the year hyped up as per usual. So that is pretty much all I wanted to talk about. So let's spend about maybe 5 minutes just engaging with you guys in the comments if you guys have anything to say, anything that you wanted to talk about. And also I just wanted to touch on, like, you know, the LG G7 1 is something that looks very interesting to me, because I know there's a lot of people that love these Android OEMs, their hardware, but they just don't like their software. And it looks like LG in their own way are kind of revitalizing the Google Play Edition. So I gotta give them credit for that. I'm not much of a stock Android fan for me personally, but I think Android One is a very appealing program, and I think the Android One is a much better program than the actual stock Android experience on Google, personally. You know, talking about AI, the scene optimized on the Note 9 is far better than the Huawei and the Asus. I don't know, you know. I think it's I like how the P20 Pro communicates its AI and the scene detection to me, because it actually tells you it's a flower. With the scene optimizer, it does, and I feel like Huawei's one picks it up much quicker. That's just something I noticed. I would say the scene optimizer on the Note is slightly more subtle. Like, it works, it does pick it up, but it works. But I just like kind of like the in-your-face nature of the P20 Pro, where it kind of tells me that, hey, it's a flower. I kind of like that, because with the scene optimizer on the Note 9, and it's something I will say in my review as well, when it picks up something, obviously I know that it's picked up a flower or something, but there's times where it has multiple things in front of it. So it doesn't know whether it wants to pick up the sky, the statue, the foreground, so there's different things happening until it settles on one thing. Not that it gets confused, but it's also down to just the micro jitters in your hand. So maybe how your hand slightly moves picks up different things. It's testament to how quickly and how subtle it can pick. But I would like it to actually tell me that it's a flower or it's this, because sometimes I have to remember what each symbol means, whereas the P20 Pro doesn't do that. So that's just kind of like something I wanted to get back. But apart from that, yes, when I did my camera comparison, if you haven't check out the photo camera comparison of the Note 9 versus the S9 Plus, the scene optimizer, when it detects scenes, works really well. I was really impressed. Really impressed. You deserve to be. Thank you, bro. Thank you. checked out my tweets and I saw it. Yeah. I've got the live stream on Periscope as well on Twitter, so I got that pinned onto the comments. So again, thank you for coming through, man. Thank you for coming through. So, but yeah, Scene Optimizer. Wow, I think Scene Optimizer does really do a good job. It really helps. And the dynamic range is the HDR. The dynamic range seems to be working well in standard photo mode. I still don't know how well the dynamic range works when it comes to live focus portrait mode, but hey, you know. That's what I like about it. On the Note 9, it's subtle and doesn't overdo the colors. Having used both the Huawei and the Samsung, I prefer the Samsung. No, definitely. I like the subtleness of it. It's more subtle. I just think in terms of the communication of the scene detection, I would like it to... There's some scenes that it picks up that I can't remember what the signal is referring to. So I'm playing a guess game of what is the scene picking up, because maybe I don't want it to pick up the scene, so I might turn it off. But if it's picking up a certain scene and it's the communication. I like the subtleness of it better on the Note, but the communication of the AI and the speed of the scene detection of the AI, I think is better on the P20 Pro. Everyday Dad, what's good? Yo, Everyday Dad, I got my badge. Where is it? This also means I am also an everyday dad. Ha 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 ha. Got it. I forgot to take my funny picture just so you could possibly intro me. Thank you. Thank you for sending this out. I appreciate it. Nice gift. Huh. So pretty much closing out the live stream. My wife is always on my case like, your live streams are like for 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm sorry babe, I'm gonna make sure that my live streams are no more than an hour and a half, so I'm good with time. So hour 20 minutes. So seeing as Everyday Dad came onto the scene, why not go an extra 5 minutes so we can see what he's what he has to offer. So Gary, you might have to rewatch this, but I'm not a drone expert, but we were talking about the Mavic 2 Pro, and I'm really sorry I've not watched all of your Mavic 2 Pro video because I was doing stuff, daddy duties today. I'm also an everyday dad as well, so conclusion, get the Mavic 2 Pro, not the Mavic 2 Zoom, because the Mavic 2 Zoom, I just don't see any point in it. So Mavic 2 Pro is where the money's at. Canon, oh my goodness, Canon when it comes to the full frame. So we're talking about all the expectations of the EOS R that is coming out or being announced in 2 days on the 5th. And just all the juicy codecs, bit rates, resolutions, the lack of bit rates, resolution, frame rates. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. All like codec like what we had in the Canon A to D. So yeah, we talked about that. Panasonic potentially having a full frame mirrorless camera on the 25th. Oh, we have to see. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We have to see. And then obviously in terms of expectations, I'm definitely going to get the 6.5 inch iPhone, the iPhone XS Plus, not the XS Plus. Oh, XS, damn, it's already started. iPhone XS Plus. And also for the fact that because of this full frame mirrorless competition, I can actually pick up a brand new A7R3 body for £1,000 cheaper than the MSRP price. Competition is good for, if not two things, one thing: pricing. And thank goodness the camera scene is heating up. And let's not even forget that the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4K is meant to be coming out, and the Atomos Ninja V. Like I'm telling you, man, things are heating up for good. Huawei announced obviously their Kirin 980, their new chipset, world 7nm, first 7nm mobile chipset, in their Mate 20 Pro, which is going to be at their next event, which is going to be in October in London, which is going to be very interesting to see. Usually they do it in Germany, but they've got it here in London. So, whew. I'm gonna go back to scene, and all I could say was, and I made a full disclaimer, and I pretty much said that I have never flown a drone, I've never used a drone, I've never touched a drone, I've never even massaged a drone. Imagine massaging a drone. Yeah, that's a bad joke. The Mavic 2 zoom to me is a gimmick. And that's coming from a person that likes telephoto zoom. I just don't see where the money in, like the upgrade in that 1-inch CMOS sensor, 20 megapixels, it's such a big deal. Like, I cannot stress how much of a big deal, like, it's just look at how fat and juicy that extra 1-inch sensor is compared to a 1/2.3-inch smartphone sensor. That is worth more than its money. That 10-bit color, hybrid log gamma HLG, and also the adjustable aperture. That really gives such a finite control that you can really have a detail and a sharpness like no other. When you go up to f5 and above, you're gonna get a sharper image. You weren't able to do that before, so that makes a big difference. So definitely get the Mavic 2 Pro. Don't get the zoom, save your money, get the Mavic Air or get the old Mavic Pro. Personally, let's go into the comments. Gotta have a good photo. I will make sure I have a good photo for you. I'm gonna try and make you laugh, man. I'm gonna do my best. You know it. I don't know. Yes, the Mavic 2 Pro is great, but is it worth the money? I'm not sold yet. I'm going to replace my A7 III with the Canon and hopefully replace everything with the Panasonic next year. I agree. I think the Mavic Air is still the drone to get. And this is, do you know where this is where like I don't know when you jumped into the live stream, Gary, but the problem with the Mavic 2 Pro is not any fault of DJI. It's the fact that DJI do not have any genuine, real, healthy competition. Unless it's someone like maybe you, Gary, for example, Everyday Dad, that you do a lot of drone reviews, you know about drones and stuff, you know, or UAVs, as some people like to call them, or quadcopters. You will not know companies like Parrot with the Anafi. Most people know. Most people that hear drones only know of DJI. That is a very good territory for DJI to be in, to command a certain asking price, because they've now come into the territory of Apple. They've built a brand recognition of, when you think of a drone, you think of DJI, right? It's almost like when someone has a tablet, you just call it an iPad, because Apple built that brand of not calling it a tablet, but it being known as an iPad. I'm even guilty of that. I have a premium Samsung Galaxy Tab S3 in house. When I'm talking to my kids, they know it as iPad. So for the sake of democracy, I literally tell them, go get the iPad, but it's not an iPad, it's a Samsung Galaxy Tab S3. I don't say tablet, I say iPad. The fact that they do not have healthy competition really makes it tough. So I'm gonna watch a video. I didn't have a chance to fully watch that video, but the lack of genuine face value competition in this drone space on a consumer level, it's really causing, I'm telling you, those drones that have been announced to release should be £300 to £400 cheaper if there was competition. I guarantee you that. 100% guarantee you that. Okay, cool. Let me jump into the your Everyday Dad, your close-up B-roll sequence are sick. Just wanted to mention that. Yeah. Yeah, you see, I like the new epic B-roll beginning sequences to your videos. Looking good. Right, guys. Oh dear. Did I just get cut off? Oh, I didn't get cut off. Okay, cool. Okay, sorry. I thought Livestream went buggy. Livestreams can do that. That was pretty much it for me tonight. Usually, again, I need to figure out Twitch. I tried to figure out Twitch, but I felt like such a noob on Twitch that I felt like I was clueless. I did not know what I was doing. I was completely baffed. I'm gonna try and figure out Twitch, but I still prefer live streaming on Periscope. I still prefer live streaming on YouTube. I just don't know about Twitch, but I'm gonna try and figure it out. So I might ask one of you guys for help on Twitch, whoever is a Twitch expert, and I might start live streaming on Twitch and see what Twitch is saying. But my audience is here on Periscope and YouTube, especially with YouTube. So the show usually is on Sundays 8 PM GMT. That is usually the time, but it was my beautiful wife's birthday and it was such a great milestone for her. So shout out to Rick. This was the artwork that he did for my wife. Shout out to Rick Aqua. If you guys don't know about Rick Aqua, he's probably one of my favorite artists at the minute. And yeah, it was my wife's birthday, so we were celebrating it. So I kind of wanted to just have a day just with her, with no live streaming, no YouTube, no nothing. And yeah, that's why it's become it became again a Monday Night Live special, family first. So that was husband duties, not just daddy duties. So enough rambling. What's the time? Okay, 1.5. All right, cool. Man, I'm moving back to YT this week. I did a quick test of 2 weeks without doing on YouTube, and I haven't seen any noticeable difference. Yeah, I'm still gonna give Twitch a try, but I just YouTube, man. Love the tube, love the tube, love the tube. So all right, people, thank you so much for tuning in into this week's episode of the Tech and Chill Show. It was a Monday Night Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys and your support as always. Content on the Note 9 will be back. Looking to do a Pixel 2 camera test and then do a battery recharge test, do my case reviews and do my Whitestone Dome, and then do my full review. So it was good that I needed a bit of a rest. Oh, technically T. Yo, T, man, congrats on 10K. I'm literally about to close out the live stream. It's been about an hour and a half. It's midnight here, so I'm about to close up shop. Yeah, I know, man, the time difference, bro. The time difference is we gotta hang out on the live stream again. The Tech and Chill Show is not just for me. I always say this, man. If you want to jump in, it's not just for me. So the show is definitely usually on a Sunday, not on Monday. It's usually on a Sunday, but when family duty calls, like I said, it was my beautiful wife's birthday, and on a Sunday, so spending time with her, just making sure that everything was all right with the family and with her. So it ended up being a Monday Night Live special, which is not a bad thing, you know. So happy belated birthday. Thank you, Jordan. T in the house. Congrats on 10K. Technically T. Go check out Technically T's channel. I call him the case master, so he's your go-to guy if you want to get cases, Gravx reviews as well. Congrats on 10K, bro. Well deserved. Keep at it. Keep hustle. Keep up with organic, real recognized real. We talked about that, man. So real recognized real, bro. I appreciate all you guys. I'm gonna set up shop. I'm gonna close this out, and definitely tune in. Stay subbed. Stay subscribed. Hit me up on socials. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll definitely catch you guys next time.